how to get from here to there. This is the Athletic Scholarship Podcast, episode number 101. It's Recruiting 101, I guess. Hi, I'm Jon Fugler. Glad to have you along. Crossed the century mark in our last episode, and here we are, episode number 101. I'm your recruiting coach. I'm an author, a speaker, of course, a podcaster, and so glad that this summer we get to move along and make some progress in the whole athletic scholarship thing. Going to do something different as we are in midsummer now. I'm going to call it the One Question Series. Here's what I want from you. I want your questions. This is audience participation. What I'm going to do over the next few weeks is to answer one question from an athlete or a parent in depth. I want the best questions. I'm not just going to answer any questions, but I'm going to feature the best questions that I feel that others can relate to. There's something that has widespread appeal. So what is the burning question on your mind right now? What's your burning question? I want to hear it. Here's how you participate. And I really want you to send this to me. All you got to do is email me, Jon, Jon, at recruitme.com, recruit-me.com, recruit-me.com. Send me your question. What is it? Describe it in detail. Not just one sentence question, but if you have more details, example of what your situation is, go into as much detail as possible, and I'll go into much detail as possible to answer it. The thing I'm shooting for is in each episode, answer one question deeply. Now, if I can get to more than one, I'll do that. But I want to make this within 15 minutes and keep that time frame in mind as I go through each episode. So the One Thing series, go ahead and email me. I'll have my link to my email in my show notes, but here it is, Jon, Jon, at recruitme.com, recruit-me.com. Your best question. Your best question. We're going to do this for several weeks. It's the One Question series. Now, I want to let you know that this summer a lot of people are pulling my book off the shelf, the virtual shelf, so to speak, on Amazon, the Athletic Scholarship Playbook. This is basically what you need to know. I was going to say everything that I know, but no, this isn't a huge volume. I mean, it's 160 pages or something like that. It's what you need to know step by step all the way to an athletic scholarship. And that's what this book is all about. For less than $15, you can have a lot of knowledge, a lot of application, and a lot of families are now pulling it down off Amazon, and it can be yours. Go ahead and get it. I've got it in Kindle. I've got it in paper book and also Audible. This is great if you're, it's summertime. You may be doing some traveling to tournaments, showcases, camps, that type of thing. Got a lot of time on the road. I would really highly recommend the Audible book so you can listen to it together. I encourage parents and athletes to do the scholarship thing together. So go get it on Amazon right now, the Athletic Scholarship Playbook. And make sure you go to my website, too, as many are, for the freebie. I mean, if you don't want to buy the book, then get something free. And I've got it there. It's the Recruiting Power Pack. A lot of people getting that as well. The Recruiting Power Pack, 3 items that you can have immediately, including a template for your resume or player profile, as I call it. That's one of the things in there. It's a fillable form. So see what you can get, and you just go to recruitme.com, recruit-me.com. Now, what I'm going to do in the first couple weeks here of this series, I'm going to seed it with a couple questions that are ones that are big ones that parents and athletes have asked me that I know that are on your mind because you've asked this question more than once. So for the next 2 or maybe 3 weeks, I'll do that. But as soon as I get questions in, maybe even as early as next week, we'll feature your question. Make sure you email me at jon@recruitme.com. You heard my question before I started this show in the teaser, and I thought maybe I would record this from the 50-yard line or mid-court or sneak onto the baseball field somewhere, high school baseball field, and do it from the pitcher's mound or from the high school track. So I felt like I would do it there, but when I've done all these kind of what I call remote broadcasts out in the field, just doesn't sound as good because I use my phone and the quality's not as good. And I'm an old radio guy, so quality means a lot to me. And I felt that, no, let's do this in studio. But just imagine me right now on a high school football field at the 50-yard line, and you're there with me. You are there with me, okay? We are in a high school stadium, high school field, but we're right there, okay? I'm not sure what sport you're in, but whatever sport you're in, you are in your high school environment, whether it's on the track or on the baseball field, softball field, in the pool, whatever, basketball court, we're there. And the question is this: how do I get from here to there? How do I get from here to there? Parents, this is for you too, because you are the coach for your son or daughter. You're the one who is supposed to be coaching your son or daughter through this process. This is a parent-athlete experience. I'm speaking to you, even though, I'm really speaking to your son or daughter. You're going to help coach them through this process. How do I get from here to there? Well, first of all, let's define where here is. And here is exactly what I'm talking about, where you are on the high school field or court or in the pool or wherever it might be. The here is the here and now in your high school situation, in your high school environment, right there on the field. That's the here. The there is your athletic scholarship in hand competing at the college level. That's the there. That's where you're going to. Of course, that's easy. I mean, you probably picked that up before I didn't really have to define that, did I? But there is something that's important that's behind this. Somebody taught me once, it's really hard to get somebody from here to there unless they're not satisfied with the here, or else they won't want to go to there. You need to paint a picture of there, which is that high school, or that scholarship in hand competing on the college level. That's the there. That's where you're going. That's the picture you want to paint in your mind. If you're satisfied with the here, you probably won't get there. There is some sense of satisfaction. I mean, it's not miserable, but you know that where you are at right now, this isn't going to be the final point, that you want to go there. You've got to compare where you're at now to where you're going. So to get from here to there, that's the first thing you have to have in mind. Some practical things that I teach families on how to get from here to there, and this is really key, is that you've got to take the initiative. You cannot wait. There's something about, I think it's in tennis, I learned the fact that, and if you're a tennis player, you can either call me out on this or saying, right on, John, but you got to keep your feet moving. If you don't move your feet, even when the ball's not coming at you yet, but if you got to keep the feet moving because you can react quicker and you can return the serve or return the hit, whatever. You got to keep the feet moving. The same thing is in football. I know that. You got to keep the feet moving. Basketball, you got to keep the feet moving. Most sports, it starts in the feet, and you got to keep the feet moving. That's how you get your result. And this is the same way in recruiting. You have to take the initiative. Don't sit back on your heels and wait for college coaches to approach you. You take the initiative and approach them. And that's why I've offered in the Power Pack the profile template. All you got to do is fill it in with your information and send it to coaches. That's one thing you can do. There's more that you should do, but that will put you far ahead of most other athletes, most other families, doing that one simple thing. Keep the feet moving. Take the initiative. Go after that scholarship. Don't wait for coaches to approach you. You take the initiative. They love it. That's how you get from here to there. That's one thing you need to do. Second thing that you need to do is have intermittent goals to get from here to there. It's a long way from where you're at right now, competing on the high school level, to that scholarship in hand at the college level in competition. That's a long way. There are several steps in between. So you have to have intermittent goals along the way. These might be timetable goals. I will do such and such by this date. I will do such and such by the end of my junior year. I will do such and such, and thinking immediately, by September 1st. As summer comes to an end and you're into fall, what are you going to do between now and September 1st to get to that goal of to that scholarship? Intermittent goals. Again, number one, take the initiative. Secondly, have intermittent goals. Third thing, in order to get from here to there is, I'll just say, call it be well-rounded. You need to be an athlete and you need to be a student. And the student is first, so it's student-athlete. You need to excel as best as you can in the classroom, just as you excel as best as you can in competition. The classroom and competition. You need to be well-rounded. That's just one of the things. You need to be well-rounded in character. Coaches on the college level are seeking not just talented athletes, not just good students, but talented athletes, good students with character. Work on character. It's so important. So important. Be a leader in that. Be a trendsetter. Be unusual. Be one of impeccable character so that you are unusual on your team. Don't worry about that. If you want to get from here to there, you've got to be different in a good way. And character stands out. Character speaks loudly. Be well-rounded. The fourth thing that I want to share with you in order to get from here to there, it does tie in with goals. You've got to have a vision of the future. What does it look like? What does it look like to be a scholarship athlete on the college level? Do some study of that. Get a word picture. Even draw something out. Make a list of qualities, of distinctives of what it will look like for you to be a scholarship athlete. Even sit down, pull out a sheet of paper, or start on your computer and just start writing 3 or 4 paragraphs of what life will look like for you when you are a freshman in college. What will life look like? Paint the picture of what your day will look like as a student and as an athlete. Paint a picture of what it'll look like for you competing on the college level. Even name the school in your story. Yeah, be risky. Name the school that you're going to be in, the program that you're going to be in. That's what it means to have a vision. You got to have that vision. Keep it, go ahead and read that. I have something, I keep a journal, and I have something that I wrote at the first of this year. I think there's 5 or 6 points in there, 5 or 6 bullet points that will characterize my life this year. I go back, and I used to go back more often, like every day, and start my day reading through that and see what hit me of those 6 points, which one really shouted at me that I wanted to focus on and maybe work on that day or that week. Now I go back maybe weekly or every 2 weeks, but each time I go back, I'll tell you what, it's refreshing because I get lost. I get lost in the shuffle of life and I don't step back and look and see what is my vision for the future. For me, what is my vision for this year? What is your vision? What are those bullet points that you can write down about how life will look in your freshman year of college, whenever that may be? Maybe 1 year from now, 2, 3 years from now, whatever it might look like. Parents, dream with your son or daughter and help them paint that picture. Then keep it and read it. And that dream is inspiring. And that dream will keep you on course, helping you get from here to there. So those are some things that you can keep in mind on how to get from here to there as you pursue your athletic scholarship. Okay, what is your question? Your question for me as you set out on this journey? Or maybe you're struggling with something right now. You've got a barrier you're trying to overcome and you need some help in that. I believe that your barrier is probably one that many other athletes and parents are having right now, many other families are having right now. So why don't you be the one that steps out and asks the question about getting through that barrier? Why don't you be the one who steps out and asks that question, and don't think that any question is too dumb. It's not. Believe me, when I started this with our kids at the turn of the century, we didn't have all the answers. In fact, we didn't have any answers. But I ask questions and I listen. So ask any question that you would like. If you want to keep it anonymous, that's fine. I won't share your name. The important thing is that step out and ask the question. That is one way you can get from here to there. Well, thanks for joining me this week, and we're heading through the summer together. Once again, I'm heading from Colorado to North Carolina, and in a couple weeks, that's where I'll be. Man, this has been a transition and a life change for me, for my wife, as we make this huge shift from Colorado to the East Coast, and it's going to be amazing. We love the water. We miss our times in California. We used to live, like a 5 to 10 minute drive from the ocean. This time in North Carolina, it'll be 2 hours, but it sure is a lot closer than Colorado. Anyway, God bless you. You take care. Have a great week, and send me your question.